Yo, what's good, day traders? This is y'all boy Jay Devar, man, bringing y'all another upload for this week, man. And in this week's upload, I'm actually going to be showing you guys one of the indicators that I've been using and testing around the past couple of weeks, adding it and implementing it into my current trading strategy. And I actually use this indicator to actually get funded this week, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. But before we do, ask you guys, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and feel free to comment down below if you about any type of content that you guys want me to put out. I have prop firm reviews that I do on the channel, and if you guys have any questions about the prop firm that I got funded with using this strategy, feel free to ask it down below. But I'll probably go into that a bit with y'all also. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it, man. So the indicator that I've been testing the past couple of weeks, and I've went ahead and implemented it into like my current trading strategy. I currently use ICT concepts as my strategy. But one thing that I have started to implement is using the anchored VWAP. So you guys can see it right here where my mouse is at, anchored VWAP, where I'm looking at down here. So I actually started using this indicator right here and started implementing it inside of my trading strategy. I got the book from the guy Brian Shannon. I discovered his concepts and his book on like a podcast. So you guys know I'm not like faking it or nothing like that. I've actually been reading the book. As you guys can see, I have my highlighters and stuff right here, and I've highlighted some stuff. I've got pages folded in it and everything of the sort. So it's a really good book. I'm encourage anybody to check it out if you're been curious about Anchor VWAP. And if after watching this video you guys are more curious about how the indicator works, feel free to buy the book, because he does have like several different trading strategies that he does utilize with the indicator. But so yeah, and that's one of the strategies that I've actually implemented inside of my trading, and I've seen some pretty good results with it the past couple of weeks from throughout the testing and everything of the sort, and actually got funded with it this week, right? I had a funded account with my funded futures, and it was actually in drawdown for a little bit, but with using this strategy, I actually pulled the account out of drawdown and actually went ahead and got funded also. So just gonna show you guys like a brief overview of like how I've been using the indicator, and so yeah, go ahead and hop into that. So just a little quick recap of how I actually trade. Like I said, I use ICT concepts. So I'm really looking for like points of interest, highs and lows. I utilize SVT divergence, or smart money technique. That's how he describes it as. But so yeah, also looking at like higher time frame areas of interest. Like right here, we were inside of an inversion fair value gap. Well, this turned into an inversion fair value gap. Before, this was actually like a regular fair value gap, but as the week went on from the market open, so right here, Sunday open of this week, right here, we actually went ahead and reversed and closed higher above this candle right here, this fair value gap right here. So now this becomes inversion, right? So yeah, so initially on Monday when the market first opened up, this was a fair value gap. Matter of fact, I'm just go ahead and like just switch it over to fair value gap. Yep. So this is what it looked like to start the week off, right? This is what my chart looked like to start the week off, right here. We had an SMT divergence inside of the fair value gap that was formed here the previous week. Because now it's over here also, but so we had the SMT. Where's it at? So we had SMT right here on Tuesday, April 28th through the 26th. These highs right here, boom, right there. So I was anticipating some sort of like run down low to take out this low right here. So and that's what I was looking for on Monday, right? So when the market opened up on Monday, I'm gonna try to block this out so like all this isn't just noise over here. But and one of the strategies that I have implemented with the Anchor VWAP is the 5-day VWAP strategy. So basically what you're doing is at the end of each trading day, like when the market opens, so like for example right here, the market doesn't open until 6 o'clock on Sunday, right? New York time, at least on my charts, right? So as soon as the market opens, I go ahead and apply the Anchor VWAP right there. Right, and I did the same. So right here, Sunday, May 18th, right? Apply my Anchor VWAP there. and then I do the same thing for Tuesday. This is gonna say Monday because Monday is 6 o'clock. It's still in the same trading day, but however, the at 6 o'clock, that's the next day's trading. That's when the next day's trading begin, right? So Monday's Asia is the start of Tuesday's trading session, right? So plotted here. So this is the Tuesday one for Tuesday, and then after that, now we have one for Wednesday right here. I have them marked off as different colors, so I have them like color coded as far as like templates go. I save them as different colors, right? So Wednesday, this is Thursday right here. The orange one is Thursday, as you guys can see right there. So the orange one is Thursday, and then right here, this is the one currently for Friday, right? Now that I'm funded, I'm probably not going to trade. I might just take the rest of the week off. I might just let Friday do what it do and just come at it for the next week. But so to start the week off, this is also on gold micro gold futures contract. So this is also on gold. So like I said, right here we have a SMT divergence that was formed with silver previously to start the week of the previous week. And so we actually, when I plotted my VWAP here, we gapped open, and because we had already formed this SMT from the previous week, I was kind of already anticipating some sort of bearish momentum or push down lower to go ahead and take out that higher time frame low that's resting right here. If I go to it, where's it at? Right here. So this area right here, I was already anticipating it to take that out because it filled in this gap. So this is the internal range liquidity, and this low right here is the external range. So because we had the SMT form with silver the previous week inside of a fair value gap already, I was already anticipating there to be some type of like bearish momentum to start the week off. And that's exactly what happened here. This is Friday's trading, and this is Monday's trading. We had the cap, so we had the open, high, low, and then close, right? So that was a bearish day. So my entry for Monday, along with the anchored VWAP, right? And the anchored VWAP, I really just use it as like a gauge to like let me know if I'm on the right side of momentum, because what this indicator behaves like is like, it stands for like volume weighted average price. So and in Brian's book, he explains that this is an indicator that or with the regular VWAP, a lot of hedge funds and institutions, they utilize this to let them know if they're actually in at a fair price for the amount of volume that's going on, if they're actually in at a fair price, right? So whenever it's below, that's when you know sellers basically have control of the market. And whenever it decides to like cross, that's so you know that there's some sort of shift going on. There's some momentum going on, some trading going on. There's a battle for dominance in the market, right? That's basically how the indicator behaves. So once it shifts above, and as you can see, buyers took control from there, right? So using this indicator is basically help me kind of like let me know if I'm on the right side of momentum, right? So now at any point, if I see any sort of like cross or even like a pullback, like there's sometimes where price pulls back to the VWAP. However, if I see that price closes below it or closes above it, depending on which way I'm looking to trade, which direction I'm looking to trade in, right? Then from that point on, that lets me know of like, okay, sellers still have control or buyers still have control. In this case right here, you see price pulled back to the VWAP that I set on Monday, and it closed. Actually, the candle closed below it, right? So that told me everything I needed to know right there. I'm just like, all right, cool. If it closed below the VWAP, so I'm cool to stay in the trade. I did move my stop appropriately, so I moved it down into break even and then into profit. So I still have to manage my positions actively. I don't just like set them and forget them. I look at them throughout the day because I look to capitalize on the expansion throughout the day, right? So that's why I trade in Asia, right? So, and my entry was actually over right here, somewhere in Asia. So like around 8 o'clock after we gapped open and we started below the VWAP. Because like I said, previously we already formed that SMT from last week. So I was anticipating the market to just continue with that momentum towards the downside and take out this external range high right here. Or external range low, my bad. This external range low right here on the daily time frame. That's this low right here, right? And this was actually like a previous low, the 45.10 area right there. So that could have been my target also. However, this is just a low hanger fruit, and this could also be my target for a little bit more of a like extra risk to reward. But you know, either here or here, either way, this trade ended up winning. And yeah, so But yeah, that pullback right there, and that head lower, and that basically gave me the confidence I needed to just remain in the trade and just let it do what it do. Give it some time to do what it do, right? So, there's that, right? So this was Monday's trading. I actually did take this trade. If I go to my journal here, you see the gold shorts. So, this same level here, that 4510.7 is right here, 4510.7. So it's that same level. That's why I actually took the trade at. I also used Notion Journal, by the way. Put a little AI prompt in, and it made asking what I wanted it to make, and it made it for me. So, so yeah, and as you guys see, I put my analysis right here. So, let's see. Go back to this. All right. So now, what do we do going forward into the next week, right? What do we do? Not next week, but the next day. What do we do going forward, right? So because I saw that like SMT divergence also formed at these lows right here, and I saw this inversion fair. So like this fair value gap formed on Monday's trading, but now as Tuesday's trading opens up, we're actually trading through this original fair value gap. So now this fair value gap becomes inversion, right? So Tuesday's trading didn't really present any real opportunities per se. That's why I didn't really pay attention to it on gold. However, I want to say I did take a position on like the ES and the 6E. These are mainly the pairs, not pairs, but these are mainly the assets that I do trade in futures. It's usually the Euro futures contracts, gold, and either the ES or the NQ right here. But yeah, so looking at that, so now that Monday's trading is over with, now you plot the Tuesday anchor, right? So whenever the market closes and opens Monday, that starts Tuesday's trading, right? So the Tuesday anchor right here is the little green anchor that I have marked right here. So seeing that we formed this SMT to start the week with Monday's range that formed right here, with silver, as you guys can see, the Wednesday, April 29th over here. Hold on, let me see if I can move this. So yeah, Wednesday, April 29th. And then now we have Monday, May 4th, right? So we formed that SMT divergence right here in this area. So, yeah, so since we've done that, now that price is actually tagging and retesting off of this VWAP, and since we've crossed over it from the open, that tells me right there that there's some sort of bullish momentum that's entering in. So there's some institution or fund or anything. There's these funds, they're battling for a position inside of the market, right? So that right there just tells me that like, okay, there's some sort of bullish momentum. Also too, now we're pinching inside. When you have two VWAPs like this, it's also in the book. So like when you have two VWAPs like this plotted and they're kind of like pinching together, it's gonna align more so with the higher time frame momentum. So basically, since I saw that since this low was ran over here, since this low was ran right here, I was already anticipating some sort of like pullback, especially since like it formed the SMT divergence. So there's going to be some type of like pullback back upwards into the range. So this range right here, there's going to be some sort of pullback back inside of the range, right? Because this is really the only higher time frame key area of interest right here, which was a previous inversion for value gap from a couple weeks ago. These areas tend to be retested over and over again. So until they're broken, right? So now we're gonna go back to the hourly chart right here. So like I said, not much action going on Tuesdays trading on gold, so I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I was trading on ES and the Euro futures contract. So however, Wednesday, right? So Tuesday we broke through this previous gap that formed on Monday, which now became inversion, and we retested inside of this area. Also, too, since these VWAPs crossed, right, that's a good indication right there that there's going to be some sort of like bullish momentum inside of the market, right there with these two VWAPs crossing, right. So it's going to continue in the direction of the higher time frame momentum, which was likely to be upwards. So now, go ahead and change this. Like I said, and throughout the testing that I've done over the past couple of weeks of taking trades with this using the indicator, I really do like it. So I'm probably gonna do more videos on this, but I know I'm probably like butchering and going all over the place. But hey, it is what it is. Like I'm new to making content, so But yeah, so since we retested off of this inversion gap, also too, we went ahead and planted our anchor on the beginning Wednesday's trading day. So it didn't really provide me any sort. If I would have been paying attention to gold, I probably could have like entered a position right here. Um, what's my thing? I could have entered like a position like right here at the open. Stop would have been at the low right here, or I could have moved it somewhere up here, maybe at the bottom of the range, at the bottom of the inversion gap. But right here is the safest bet because this is the low that formed the SMT. If it breaks below that, that lets you know that the trend is going to continue downwards, right? Or lower, right? And I could have targeted like up here in this area, either like up here in this area, right here, because we formed the Asia session right here, because but like I was at work at this time, so like there was no way I would have been able to enter inside this. I'm just saying like if I would have been home and already trading in all my charts, you know, I could have looked to take this position because by this point there really isn't any sort of like retest back into the area, so there really isn't any entry for me on Wednesday, right? So likely I would have just missed out on this day and it would have just been what it is, right? But as long as like we're trading with the anchor VWAP, right? So right here, now that that happened, also too, I like to use the sun. I like to know what the Sunday's opening price is. It's part of our ICT strategy that I learned like a couple years ago. But a higher time frame, quote unquote, I guess a little secret, but using Sunday's opening price because we opened up lower on Sunday, and now that we retrace back towards that Sunday open, this tells me that most likely this is the low for the week, and we're likely to continue higher, right? So when I saw this fair value gap turn basically a price trade through this previous fair value gap, it now becomes inversion. So now I'm anticipating any sort of like tag back inside of the fair value gap, the inversion gap, now to be a catalyst for like some bullish momentum, right? And that's exactly what I was doing here with this trade in mind going on today being Thursday, right? But so we had that previous inversion for value gap here from a couple of weeks ago. Uh, I figured it was gonna probably retest this area again before ultimately rejecting, which is exactly what it did today, right? So we had that we open here, low here, high here, and close here. So now on Friday, now with Friday with it being that we have a fair value gap right here, we could probably anticipate some sort of momentum above here and probably see some higher prices in gold, especially with what's going on with Iran and the U.S. right now, with the peace talks and everything of the sort. So yeah. As a matter of fact, I might enter a trade on this video. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like it's looking really good right now, right? Because this is Friday's VWAP that I have right here to start. So since the market closed and opened today, now this begins Friday's trading day, right? So we also formed an S&T. I went ahead and marked that out because I thought about trading, but you know what? I know I said earlier in the video that I might just take the break, but I might just go ahead and enter a position because this looks really clean to me right now, and also it's retesting the previous daily VWAPs, so it's still retesting above these areas, and it's also crossing also. So and also too, the higher time frame momentum for the week has been bullish, right? And like I said, we have this pinch. So with Thursday and Wednesday, we kind of have like this pinch of VWAPs right here, and it's likely, it's in the book it says it's most likely to continue inside of the direction of the higher time frame trend, right? So I might just go ahead and enter a trade, right? But I want to finish breaking this down really quick. So today's trade I took, it was more so on the 15-minute. I know I'm on the hourly right now, but it was more so on the 15-minute chart right here. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but to start Thursday's trading, we had a fair value gap that was right here that was formed on Wednesday. There's a fair value gap right here, and market open and close. It's the Thursday VWAP, the orange one. Went ahead and so initially I did enter inside of the fair value gap, but because of the constant going back and forth, I kind of did close it out early in a loss. However, once I seen that at the start of the Asian session range where we actually gapped up, that kind of gave me a bit more confidence to be like, you know what? Okay, we have a fair value gap right here. I'm cool with entering right up in here as long as we don't fully close below this fair value gap that's right here, we should be good, right? And that's exactly what happened. I went to sleep, boom, woke up. My trade was like this. I stayed in it because we had another fair value gap form right here. We had another one form right here. another fair value gap. And as long as price was like inside of that and then closed fully below it, I was cool with keeping my position on right here, because I was just targeting this area right here, the black line that I have marked. I was just targeting this area right here because this is a previous structure high all the way back over here. You know, I could have targeted higher here, but you know, that's kind of reaching for the stars to try to target all the way back up here from previous weeks. So this is more so like a low hanging fruit objective, just to get to like a 1 to 2 risk to reward, or a little bit more of a 1 to 2 risk reward, right? So right here, fair value gap, I moved my stop into break even and then moved it up a bit more into some profit after we rejected and kept heading higher. And yeah, so and all that is just based off of the 5-day VWAPs, just using that one strategy that he had outlined in the book, right? I hope I explained that pretty well. I hope I didn't butcher it too bad for you guys, you know. But like I said, like I plan on making more content and continuing to use this strategy, right? So yeah, guys. So, yeah, there we go, right there. Now as far as right now, this does look pretty good to me. Like I said, we have an SMT. We're still closing above these previous day VWAPs, right? And it's likely to continue higher, um, above, or likely to continue with the higher time frame momentum. Especially Friday is a news trading day. Also, next week, tomorrow, Friday is a high impact news trading day. If I can go to it right here, if it pulls up, yeah. So Friday is a yeah, red folder news day, high impact news kind of day. We got non-farm employment change, unemployment rates, and yeah. So but like I said, this does look really clean to me right now. If I were to enter a position, it would probably be below here, as long as it doesn't close below this view out right here. But because we have this SMT that formed right now, also too, there's a little fair value gap on silver also. So as long as it doesn't close below that, we might can reject and take off higher, right? I might just go ahead and enter this position. I know I said I wasn't, but I'm gonna just mark it out real quick and see what it looks like. Boom, we have here, put a stop here, and likely to target here. This is already a 1 to 2 risk reward. I'm going to delete this because I don't need this anymore. I already recorded it in my journal. Let's see. So yeah, just from here to here, there's already a 1 to 2. That might be good enough for me. Let's see what it looks like on a 4-hour chart, 4-hour time frame. Same thing, not too bad. Not too bad. Could probably look to actually, because Friday you got to be careful. Also, you got to be careful with Fridays. Fridays tend to be more so like Fridays tend to be more like inside range days. You know, so even if I do enter a position here, and you know we do take off a bit, it probably would be in my best interest to, whenever I wake up in the morning, to just go ahead and close out and take whatever profit there is, right? But yeah, 15-minute. And either way, I'm just gonna keep the risk kind of small. So we'll go ahead and enter. Oh shit, I gotta hold on, because I got so many different tabs open. I can't just trade on all the different other ones. The ES doesn't look bad either. If I would put a view up here, I'm kind of more so leaning towards tagging inside of this fair value gap right here. Probably for the ES, but for the sake of gold, I'm gonna go ahead and I might just go ahead and enter inside of gold 14 or 15-minute chart right here. Also too, so we have an accumulation. This could be a sort of a manipulation move, which is why we formed a SVT divergence between both silver and gold, right? And with it respecting these VWAPs right here, these previous day VWAPs, I can likely see some like distribution higher, right? I think I'm gonna go ahead and enter inside a position, right? And then when I just wake up, that'll just be what it is, right? So cool, we cool right here. Just a little light banger to finish off the week. We only gonna risk like about $300. What if I risk 2 contracts? How much would it be? Oh, 6 to make 14. I'm cool with that because I get a 1,000-day drawdown, so I'm cool with that. All right, the stop is a little bit higher, so that's fine. I'll put it right there. And yeah, and now we're just gonna go to sleep and see how it goes, see how it turns out. All right, I'm in the position now, so like, hey, it is what it is. At this point, it is what it is, right? I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but hey, for the sake of the video, I'm cool with doing it. Like I said, I want to put out more content, you know, And if this trade wins, I might, who knows, I might just add it for next week's video, right? But with that being said, y'all, this is y'all boy. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Like I said, if you learned anything from this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, comment down below if you learned anything. If you learned anything from just some of the stuff that I went over. And like I said, check out this book. Like, this is a pretty solid indicator in my opinion. Like I said, I've been testing it out. Testing out this one particular strategy. He has other strategies in the book, but I've been testing out this one particular one for like the past couple weeks, right? So, and I've been seeing some success with it, right? So I'm just keep using it, you know. But like I said, check out the book, check it out. There's some good, valuable information in here. And that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the video up. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.